Hey everyone, we're Red Donkey Projections. I'm Eric and we have Lucas as always.
Hey everyone.
So today we're going to be talking about some new polls in the 2020 Massachusetts Senate race. From there, we're going to have a quick refresher on who each candidate is and some few endorsements, and we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen in the future.
Right. This race is probably going to be a safe Democratic seat. The question is who will hold this seat. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's look at the new polling here. This was very interesting. Last time we did this video, Kennedy was up by a lot. That has since changed. We see Markey take the lead now, and in nearly all of the recent polls since July 30th, Markey is up. So that is very interesting. We'll discuss it a little bit later, but we got to discuss some background information first. Ed Markey, they're both progressives. Ed Markey is the more progressive candidate. He wrote the Green New Deal with Representative AOC. He is the incumbent here. He's against Joe Kennedy III, who is currently a U.S. representative. He is a Kennedy. I think he's the grandnephew of JFK. I believe that's what he is. I think that nepotism does kind of still exist in America, where some people might really just vote for a Kennedy because of that last name there. I know that Massachusetts loves their Kennedys, so
Very interesting.
checking out their endorsements. Very interesting is that not AOC. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, actually endorsed Joe Kennedy. Same with Steny Hoyer, who is the I lost his name here. He is the second highest House Democrat. He's the majority House leader.
Yeah, Maryland's 5th district.
Yeah, House Majority Leader. So pretty high positions. But the only senator who endorsed him is Kirsten Sinema, who is a blue dog from Arizona. So that's interesting to see. On the other hand, Markey has been endorsed by basically a lot of the big Senate names: Elizabeth Warren, Jeanne Shaheen, Chuck Schumer, even Joe Manchin, Cory Booker, Dick Durbin, who is the whip. So that's interesting to see that the endorsements. I think that Markey does have a bit more. I'm not sure how much of an impact Pelosi's or Steny Hoyer's endorsements will have on Joe Kennedy, but that's still always interesting to see that. Anyways, Eric, why don't you talk a little bit about polling?
Yeah, so we saw an interesting change of things here. When we did this video before, Kennedy was leading the polls. It was probably somewhere in June where Kennedy was above Markey. Now, for a multitude of reasons, Markey has taken back the polls, and he is up in almost every single poll, which is very interesting.
I think that generally Markey did do better in some of the debates than Kennedy did. I'm not sure if too much impact debates have, but I think Markey did do better. Because these pollings are interesting to see. Emerson College had Kennedy up by a lot, and Emerson's an A-minus pollster. Then we saw changes. But still, very high undecided numbers. We're not sure how these numbers might break, but very high undecided numbers. 11 points up now, with 7.2% undecided.
And maybe those endorsements helped at Markey, because I think maybe more people would endorse Markey because he's more of an experienced congressman. He's been in Congress for a while, like four decades or something. So maybe high political figures have seen what Markey has done, while Kennedy III has only been a congressman. So maybe he's getting a bit less endorsements.
Right. I think it's kind of because, these senators have worked with him for a while now, that they probably don't want him not to get reelected, and that could definitely be a reason why. Let's briefly touch on the Republican. No surprise here. There's no serious competition. But what I found interesting is that Charlie Baker, the governor of Massachusetts, he's already declined to run. But according to polling done last year, Baker actually leads Markey by 1 point, according to Change Research. Change Research is still a terrible pollster, but 1 point up the popular Republican governor in a state like Massachusetts is up 1 point against Markey. That's really, really interesting to see. So potentially we could see Baker run in the future for Senate. I'm not too sure if he said anything about it, but that is really interesting to see, definitely. But wow, we got to keep an eye on this race. We will live stream this, I think, on September 1st. The primary will happen. I personally think that it will be very close. I think Markey will win now. After these new polling came in, after these new polls came in, I think that Markey does have a slight edge over Kennedy. This is a reverse of what I thought before. Before, I thought that maybe Kennedy would pull off a win. I think Markey will slightly win this one now. Eric, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so in the end, I think that because of his long time in Congress and the experience and the policies that other people have seen him, conduct and, put in action, I think Markey right now has the leg up. He had a lot of endorsements. He is up in the polls. It's not our primary indicator, but it's it's kind of a minor roadmap, and we see that Markey is up, so that could end up being what it's going to be in November. So I also do think that Markey could take this seat at the moment.
Interesting. All right. What is today? Is today the 28th?
Yeah, the 29th.
Wow. So we find out in 2 days who wins. 3 days. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Yeah, 3 days. All right, cool. So we'll see you in 3 days on our live stream, but thank you all so much for watching. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. And if you like our content, please subscribe. We'll see you in our next episode tomorrow.
See ya.